Did you know that 55% of communication happens through body language, not words? Yet, most people focus only on what they say, not how they say it. That's a huge mistake. In fact, research shows that up to 90% of our communication is non-verbal. Shocking, right? Imagine this. You could land your dream job, strengthen friendships, or even influence people just by mastering the art of conversation. It's not just about talking, it's about how you listen, the questions you ask, and how your body speaks for you. In this video, we'll uncover simple yet powerful strategies that will change the way you communicate. From asking the right questions to understanding body language, we'll show you how to turn any conversation into an opportunity. Stick around, and let's dive into how you can become a true conversation master. Chapter 1. Unlocking the power of listening. The silent superpower. Mastering the art of conversation starts with listening. Yet, many people forget that being a good listener is far more than hearing words. It's about understanding the message behind them. Active listening is key. When you truly listen, you're not just waiting for your turn to speak, you're engaging with what the other person is saying. Did you know that research shows we spend about 60% of our communication time listening? However, most people only remember about 25% of what they hear. That's a huge missed opportunity to connect. The good news is, you can improve your listening skills by practicing mindfulness. By staying present in the moment, you can focus fully on the speaker without distractions. One powerful technique for active listening is the reflective listening method. This involves paraphrasing what the other person says to show you truly understand. For example, if someone says, "I'm feeling overwhelmed with work," you might respond with, "It sounds like you're really stressed about your workload." This simple act demonstrates empathy and makes the speaker feel heard. Listening attentively builds trust. According to communication expert Stephen Covey, most people do not listen with the intent to understand, they listen with the intent to reply. If you can shift your focus from replying to understanding, you'll build stronger connections with others. When you listen carefully, you also catch the subtle cues that people often leave behind. These might include body language or tone of voice. Have you ever noticed how someone's voice might change when they're uncomfortable? These nonverbal signals can help you understand feelings that words alone can't express. Effective listening is more than just a skill, it's a mindset. When you listen with empathy, you create a safe space for the other person to open up. People appreciate when they are truly heard. This can transform ordinary conversations into meaningful dialogues. A fun fact: did you know that the average person speaks around 150 words per minute, but listens at a rate of up to 500 words per minute? This difference creates an opportunity for your brain to wander. But the key is to stay focused on the conversation. Fight the urge to multitask or let your mind drift. Your full attention will make the speaker feel valued. One simple way to improve your listening skills is to maintain eye contact. It shows the speaker that you're engaged and interested. In fact, studies have found that maintaining eye contact can increase trust during a conversation by 50%. The next time you're in a chat, try it out and see how it changes the dynamic. Another listening strategy is asking clarifying questions. When someone says something that you're unsure about, instead of guessing, just ask. It can be as simple as, "What did you mean by that?" This shows that you care enough to get the full picture, not just part of the story. The power of listening isn't just about making others feel heard. It's also about learning new things. When you truly listen, you open yourself up to a wider range of ideas and perspectives. You may walk away from a conversation with insights that you never expected. In short, the most valuable thing you can do during any conversation is to listen actively. The more you listen, the better you become at understanding people, and the stronger your relationships will be. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more tips on mastering conversations. Chapter 2. The vibe is real. Harnessing body language for unspoken influence. Did you know that up to 93% of communication is nonverbal? That means the words you say are only part of the picture. Body language, facial expressions, and even posture play a massive role in how your message is received. By mastering these unspoken cues, you can instantly increase your conversational impact. For example, crossing your arms might signal defensiveness, while leaning forward can show interest. In fact, studies have shown that when people lean forward during a conversation, they are seen as more engaged and trustworthy. This small shift in posture can make a huge difference in how others perceive you. Smiling is another powerful tool. Research from the University of Missouri found that smiling can make you appear more approachable and trustworthy. People tend to mirror your facial expressions, so when you smile, they are likely to smile back. This creates a positive feedback loop and strengthens the bond between you and the other person. When it comes to eye contact, the rule is simple: maintain it, but don't overdo it. A steady gaze shows confidence and sincerity. However, staring too intensely can make people uncomfortable. The goal is to strike a balance. Maintain eye contact around 60–70% of the time during a conversation. Another aspect of body language that speaks volumes is your hand gestures. Studies have shown that using your hands to emphasize points can make your message more compelling. Just be mindful not to overuse them. Too many gestures can distract from your message rather than enhance it. You can also use your voice to project confidence. Speaking clearly, at a moderate pace, and with a steady tone helps convey authority and calmness. In contrast, speaking too quickly or too softly might suggest anxiety or lack of confidence. When you control your tone and pace, people are more likely to listen attentively. The way you position yourself in a conversation is also crucial. According to psychologists, open body language signals that you are approachable and open to the discussion. Avoid closed-off stances, such as turning your body away or folding your arms. An open posture creates a sense of connection and trust. If you're speaking with a group, be sure to scan the room with your eyes. This shows that you're inclusive and engaged with everyone present. Avoid focusing on just one person. By subtly shifting your attention, you create a more balanced and comfortable atmosphere. Your body language should align with your words. If your body says one thing and your words say another, it creates confusion. For example, saying, "I'm confident," while looking down or fidgeting with your hands can send mixed signals. Authenticity is key. Make sure your non-verbal cues match your message. The power of body language lies in its ability to influence how people feel about you. Positive body language makes you seem approachable, confident, and sincere, qualities that are essential for mastering the art of conversation. Chapter 3. Flipping the script. Turning small talk into deep talk. Small talk often gets a bad reputation for being shallow and unimportant. But what if I told you that small talk is the gateway to more meaningful conversations? The key to turning light chatter into something more significant lies in asking the right questions and showing genuine interest. Most people don't want to stay on surface-level topics forever. According to a study by the University of Arizona, people feel more connected to others when the conversation moves beyond small talk. But how do you bridge that gap? The answer is simple: ask open-ended questions. Instead of asking, "How was your day?" try asking, "What's been the highlight of your week so far?" This question invites a more thoughtful response and opens the door to deeper conversation. It shows that you're genuinely interested in the person's life, not just their daily routine. Another great tactic is to share something personal. Vulnerability breeds connection. When you open up about your own experiences, it encourages others to do the same. For example, instead of asking someone, "What do you do for fun?" you could share something you recently did for fun and ask them about their similar experiences. Don't be afraid of silence. Silence in a conversation isn't always awkward. It can be an opportunity to reflect and process. By pausing for a moment, you give the other person space to think and contribute more thoughtfully. This makes the conversation feel less rushed and more genuine. Another powerful strategy is to listen for emotions, not just facts. When someone talks about their day, instead of just hearing the events, listen for their feelings. If they mention being tired, ask what's been exhausting them lately. This shows that you care about how they feel, not just what they did. If you're in a group setting, you can still flip the script. Instead of focusing on small talk with just one person, try steering the conversation to a topic that everyone can engage with. For example, ask, "What's the most interesting thing you've learned recently?" This shifts the focus to a deeper, more engaging topic. The key to turning small talk into meaningful conversation is curiosity. Don't settle for surface-level interactions. Dig deeper by asking thoughtful questions, listening actively, and sharing your own experiences. This creates a bond that goes beyond the casual pleasantries. Remember, the quality of a conversation doesn't depend on the length of time you spend talking. It's about the depth of connection you create. So, next time you're engaged in small talk, think of it as the first step towards something more substantial. With the right questions and mindset, you can turn any conversation into a deep and rewarding exchange. Don't forget to subscribe for more tips and tricks on transforming your conversations into powerful connections. Chapter 4. The Curiosity Code. Asking the right questions to open minds. If you want to become a master conversationalist, you need to harness the power of questions. The right question can open up a world of insight, while the wrong one can end the conversation before it even begins. Great conversationalists ask questions that show they're genuinely interested and curious about the other person's thoughts, feelings, and experiences. According to research from the University of Amsterdam, people who ask more questions in conversations are perceived as more likable and trustworthy. This is because questions signal curiosity and engagement. But not just any questions will do. Open-ended questions are the real game changers. Instead of asking, "Did you have a good weekend?" ask, "What was the highlight of your weekend?" This shifts the conversation from a simple yes, no response to an opportunity for deeper reflection. The beauty of open-ended questions is that they encourage people to share more. They invite people to tell their stories, express their thoughts, and reveal their feelings. For example, instead of asking someone, "How's work going?" you might ask, "What's the most rewarding part of your work right now?" This invites a deeper conversation about what truly excites them. Another effective question strategy is to ask for opinions. People love to share their thoughts, especially when they feel like their opinion matters. A question like, "What do you think about the latest movie in theaters?" gives the person an opportunity to voice their perspective, sparking a more engaging conversation. The key to asking good questions is to show that you're genuinely interested in the other person. One way to do this is to follow up on their answers with curiosity-driven questions. If someone tells you about a recent trip, instead of just saying, "That sounds fun," you could ask, "What was the most surprising thing you experienced on that trip?" This not only keeps the conversation going but also deepens the connection between you both. But what if you're not sure where to start? One easy tip is to ask about people's passions. People love talking about what excites them, whether it's a hobby, a project, or a cause. For instance, you could ask, "What's something you've been really passionate about lately?" This opens the door for a rich conversation and gives the person the chance to share something meaningful to them. It's also important to be mindful of timing. Asking thoughtful questions at the right moment can make all the difference. Don't interrupt, and be patient as the other person gathers their thoughts. Research suggests that people are more likely to give meaningful answers when they feel they have the time and space to think. An interesting fact: studies have shown that people tend to enjoy conversations more when they are asked questions that relate to their personal experiences. So, avoid generic questions like, "How are you?" Instead, ask, "What's something memorable that happened to you this week?" This will create a more engaging and enjoyable exchange. One powerful tool for keeping the conversation flowing is the "What else?" question. When someone shares something with you, asking, "What else happened?" or "Can you tell me more?" invites them to dig deeper into their story. It shows you're genuinely interested in what they have to say and encourages them to open up more. In short, the secret to great conversations lies in asking the right questions. Open-ended, thoughtful questions will spark deeper discussions, build rapport, and help you connect on a more meaningful level. Chapter 5. Mastering the Pause. The art of timing and reflection in conversations. Silence can be your most powerful ally. Pausing before you speak can make your words more impactful, allow others to reflect, and give you time to choose your response carefully. Many people rush to fill silences with words, but those pauses hold the potential for deeper connections and more thoughtful exchanges. One of the most overlooked aspects of communication is timing. When you pause for a moment after someone speaks, you signal that you're processing their words thoughtfully. According to communication expert Daniel Goleman, taking a brief pause before responding can help you avoid reacting impulsively, allowing you to offer a more measured and thoughtful reply. In fact, a study published in the Journal of Nonverbal Behavior found that people who use pauses effectively in conversation are seen as more intelligent and composed. By mastering the pause, you communicate that you are fully engaged in the moment and that your words carry weight. Pauses also give the other person room to reflect and add more to the conversation. When you wait a moment after someone speaks, you give them the opportunity to elaborate or share more. This often leads to richer, more meaningful conversations. In many cases, people feel more comfortable opening up when they sense that you are truly listening and not just waiting to talk. Another reason why pausing works is that it creates anticipation. When you stop for a moment before speaking, it often leaves people wanting to hear more. You don't have to speak quickly to get your point across. In fact, speaking too quickly can diminish the impact of your words. Slow down and let your words land. The beauty of a pause is its ability to diffuse tension. In emotionally charged conversations, a pause can give both parties the time to collect their thoughts and cool down. Instead of responding immediately with frustration or defensiveness, take a deep breath and wait for the right words to come to you. Pauses can also give you the time to ask a follow-up question. Instead of jumping in with your own opinion, use the pause to reflect on what the other person said and think of a thoughtful question that will deepen the conversation. For example, after hearing someone explain a challenge they're facing, you might pause and then ask, "What do you think would help solve that situation?" Here's an interesting fact. Research from the University of California found that pauses in conversation can increase the perceived quality of your speech. When you take your time and don't rush, people tend to listen more carefully and value your input more highly. By mastering the art of timing, you can create a rhythm in your conversations that feels natural and engaging. You won't just be filling silence with unnecessary words, you'll be fostering an environment where both people can reflect, think, and connect more deeply. In the end, pauses aren't about being silent, they're about creating space for meaningful communication. The next time you're having a conversation, try embracing the power of silence. Let it be a tool that helps you speak more thoughtfully, listen more attentively, and connect on a deeper level. Chapter 6. The Empathy Edge. Connecting with people beyond words. Empathy is one of the most important tools you can use to master conversation. It's the ability to understand and share the feelings of another person. When you lead with empathy, you create a bond that goes beyond words, making the conversation feel more personal and authentic. According to Daniel Goleman, a leading expert on emotional intelligence, empathy is a cornerstone of effective communication. In fact, Goleman suggests that the ability to empathize with others not only helps strengthen relationships but also fosters trust and respect. When you demonstrate empathy, people feel safe and understood. One way to show empathy in conversation is by acknowledging the emotions behind what someone is saying. For example, if someone is sharing a difficult experience, instead of simply saying, "That's terrible," try, "It sounds like that must have been really tough for you." This simple shift makes the other person feel validated and understood. Empathy isn't just about feeling for someone, it's also about seeing the world from their perspective. To truly empathize, try to put yourself in the other person's shoes and understand their point of view. This not only helps you respond more thoughtfully, but it also builds a deeper connection between you and the other person. An interesting aspect of empathy is how it can help resolve conflicts. Studies have shown that when you empathize with someone during an argument, they are more likely to calm down and become more receptive to your viewpoint. This makes empathy a valuable tool for de-escalating tense situations and finding common ground. Empathy also allows you to recognize and honor the other person's needs. If someone expresses frustration, you might acknowledge their feelings by saying, "I can see why you'd be upset about that. How can I help?" This shows that you're not only paying attention to their words but also to their emotional state and needs. One of the best ways to build empathy is by listening without judgment. Avoid the temptation to offer advice or jump into problem-solving mode right away. Instead, focus on listening deeply and giving the person the space to express their feelings. As you listen, ask yourself, "How would I feel in their shoes?" This perspective shift can open the door to deeper understanding. A unique fact about empathy. Research by the University of California found that people who show empathy in conversations are more likely to build trust and rapport. When you show empathy, others are more likely to feel comfortable sharing their thoughts and emotions with you. Empathy can also help you navigate conversations with people from different backgrounds and cultures. By practicing empathy, you show respect for differences and create an environment where diverse perspectives are valued. This is especially important in today's interconnected world, where cross-cultural communication is essential. In the end, Empathy is the secret ingredient that transforms an ordinary conversation into a meaningful connection. It makes people feel heard, understood, and respected. When you lead with empathy, you create conversations that go beyond surface-level exchanges and build stronger, more lasting relationships. If you enjoyed these tips, make sure to hit that subscribe button for more conversation insights and strategies.